Okay, so I'm gonna say bye-bye to Bumble.
Yeah, I am currently deleting Timber off my phone.
God, you're not going to believe me. Can we just drink and talk about it?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to episode 5 of Wine, Liars, and Beer.
I'm Tina.
And I'm Amy, and we had a weekend.
We did. And part of it was together and part of it was not.
But the shenanigans that happened were equally relatable.
Mm-hmm. So, well, my weekend started Friday.
At 3:30.
3:30. I planned a whole nice happy hour for, people I work with. And we went out. We had a happy hour of many.
Yes, and we had the rest of the weekend planned. So
yes.
when I heard that you were still out, I think my words were, Dina, you're going to die by Monday.
Yep. Those were the words. I still have that text message.
And then what did you say Sunday night?
I said,
I'm going to die.
I don't remember much from Sunday, but
happy hour. I mean, by the sense of the word, is an hour.
Yes.
So why don't you explain how many hours you actually spent?
This one was, I guess we got there a little after 3:30, and by the time we left, it was probably close to 9 o'clock of happy hours.
So that's like almost 6 hours.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was drinking some beer. I drank old beer Friday night, so it wasn't too bad. But,
And then you were like, come out!
Oh, yes.
And I was like, okay! And then I was like, I don't think I can swing this one if we're going to pull the rest of the weekend, which then went on because Friday was 420.
Yes, Friday was.
It was 420.
It was.
And last year we had some 420 shenanigans, but this year we decided to wait till the day after. Maybe it would be a little bit safer, but didn't really turn out that way.
No, Saturday.
We missed something very important too. I'm really upset about it. The Blue Point Cask Ales Festival.
Yes.
Last event at the Blue Point
Brewery on River Avenue.
Yes, not happy about it, but we caught the tail end of it at the tap room when the crowd decided to show up to continue their shenanigans.
Yeah, and that was the first time I felt like I was the most sober one in a bar.
Yeah, and there was a guy trying to buy you food. At first, I honestly thought that he was giving away other people's food.
Yeah, I didn't think he was with those people next to us.
No, me either.
No.
Because he came over and he was like, you girls deserve better than those guys. And we were like, have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're not here with guys tonight, but...
And then...
he kept putting food in our face.
Yes, and I thought he was taking it from other people.
It said she doesn't eat meat, and we're waiting for food.
Oh my god. And then he called us 20-something.
Yes. No, he goes, what are you guys, like 20?
Yes, I remember that. That was exciting.
Yeah. And then even after he left, remember the bartender came over to me and said, that guy bought you a drink on his way out.
So you had to have one more.
Yes, I did have to have one more.
You did. I started with
Optical, right?
Optical, yes. So I started with the heavy, you started with the light.
Yeah, I did summer. They had summer ale.
Why the hell did we do stupid shit like that?
I don't know. Because then we went
to Stereo
Garden. We saw Badfish. And we continued to drink Bud Light.
Yes, that was a shit show.
Yeah.
But
we were, I think, we were drinking, but this was the most sober I think I've seen them.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know. That mosh pit was a little intense.
I think there wasn't enough people there. You know what I mean? I think those crazy people had way too much room to run around.
And the floor was soaking wet, so people were sliding all over the place and literally sliding into people.
Yeah.
But Badfish was awesome, as always.
Yep. They're totally predictably always good. We'll follow them and their counterpart Sublime around.
Yes.
And, we had this conversation. It's pretty interesting that the whole reason that they became a cover band was because when Bradley Noel died, they played with Sublime.
For a period of time.
Yeah, and Eric, the drummer, he was like, oh, wow. that's really good. You want to continue our tour? And they did. Or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure because I'm getting my information from secondhand. All right, so that was Saturday night. We took Ubers home.
Yep.
And then my dumbass went back out.
I was going to say, because I went home and I went to bed. I knew I had to get up Sunday morning.
Yeah, because we had a Sunday morning plan to go to 30th birthday wine tour.
Yes, which is always fun.
It is definitely always a good time, and it would have been a good time. I mean, Dina had a really good time. I had a good time. I'm not lying. I had other stressors in the background besides the alcohol poisoning that I had. I got car sick.
Yes.
That was pretty bad. And then I had to leave early because I had another benefit to attend. But Dina,
I continued.
Yep, she did.
And
apparently I was falling in bushes on Saturday night, and Dina was throwing up in limos on Sunday.
And you know what? Okay, don't get me wrong. We went to 3 wineries. Before we got to the first one, I drank a good amount of champagne, which I've done before in the past. We were in the limo, drank the champagne, went to winery. Now, like, at times people weren't using all their tickets because one of our friends that came with us, she's pregnant, so we were kind of divvying up all the red tickets. And somehow at the last winery, I had a lot of tickets. And I got all the wine. And I drank all the wine. The issue, now that I think about it, is I did not eat.
At all?
I picked something small up for breakfast that morning. But then when we were at that second winery and they provided us with some lunch, I only had like 2 of those little sandwiches.
Okay.
And maybe a few carrots.
I mean, that is always...
But that was it.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Every time we don't eat, we end up in really unpleasant situations.
Yes, I did get sick in the limo. And I think part of it was the alcohol, but I also think part of it was car sick.
All right.
Yeah,
good.
I think I was.
If that driver...
was crazy. Like, he drove quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were all over the place.
Yes.
I was car sick within the first 20 minutes.
I mean, I'm not denying. I was a mess Sunday night. After I got dropped off at home, I
think you called me like 3 times with the same story.
Because I was so in shock that I threw up in the limo. Because I haven't thrown up since 6 years ago. New Year's Eve, I threw up on my friend's carpet. And I also don't think that was all from the alcohol. I think I had a touch of something or I ate something bad. But I don't know. I have to tell a funny story, and I didn't tell you this yet. So
oh my God,
I go to work on Monday, right? And a friend of mine, he's there, and he comes into my room I'm in. And I remember from looking at my phone log that morning that I was calling people to see what, just to say hi. And his name was on there, and I'm like, oh, goodness. So I go, please tell me I didn't talk to you last night. And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, I called you. And he goes, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did. So I pull my phone out, and I look at my phone log, and I said, here, look, here's your name. I click on his name, and his information comes up. He's like, that's not my phone number.
Oh my God.
And then it registered that in my phone, it was his name is his first name, and then work at the end of it. I called someone in my phone with his same name, but not him.
Oh my God, do you remember talking?
I don't think that anyone picked up the phone, hopefully, because it was like a 3-second phone call. Okay. But I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so horrible. Oh my goodness. And when we were in the limo on the way home, I FaceTimed your brother.
Yes, I heard that story.
And he was getting passed around.
You know what else I think might have added to the drunkenness in that car? You had a pretty kickin' playlist. You need to share that playlist with me. Do you remember it?
I remember I got the playlist in the morning.
But I was only in the limo for the ride to the first stop, the ride to the second stop, the ride to the third stop.
Yes,
but then
you made it a good part.
Yeah, I did. I took the Uber home from the third stop. But each time we were in the ride and I was not drinking, I still wanted to party in that limo.
All right,
so if I was drinking, I would have been just as drunk.
Yeah.
To say I'm not drinking, I feel like it's a sin.
Can you believe I threw up?
Can you believe I didn't drink?
I know. Oh my goodness.
All right, so hence the weekend shenanigans. It is, 3 days later, yet we're still feeling the effects of it. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with getting old. It has to do with being on a 3-day bender.
Yeah.
And then having to function like an adult. So we drank responsibly in the sense that we got up for work on Monday.
We did.
Yeah, you did.
It took a few hours for me to, get myself together, but I got
It
it.
worked out. And you had an early morning meeting too, didn't you?
Yes.
It's always the way. And guess what
Yep.
happened to me?
You got your...
I did. I got a
Yep.
spot on evaluation when
Yep.
they just show up and say, how you doing today?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course.
Wonderful. All right. So we invited a friend today. Say hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
And she's a firm believer of laws of attraction. Want to explain that a little bit?
Laws of attraction. In my version, it's what you put out comes back. Your intentions, your thought patterns. You can attract anything you desire.
I've
Yeah.
been trying that lately and it's not working at all.
It takes a little practice. It's not an automatic thing. Although I have to tell you, yes, it is, because I manifested something within days. It was just like boom, boom, boom. I had this thought.
What happened?
My intentions were great. The puppy.
Oh, tell the story.
The puppy.
Actually, this is perfect because last week we were telling spooky stories, remember?
Yes.
And we were talking about things that happened to us where kind of like gave us the idea that there is another side.
There is a
that
whole
something
other
happens
side,
on the
yes.
other side. So this is kind of relatable to that. So what happened?
Yeah, it was very profound, actually. I was helping my son move stuff out of a basement, and the word Casper kept going through my head. Casper. And where I'd stop, and I'm like looking around, like, why am I hearing this word, Casper?
And that had no meaning to you at
Had
that
no
point?
meaning. I'm like, got my arms full of stuff. I'm moving stuff, walking, sweating, lifting, putting things down, and Casper. It was like a whisper.
Like in your head?
In
or-
my head.
Okay. Okay.
In this, like, I wasn't talking to myself. It wasn't one of those moments where you're like mumbling and everything. When you're completely silent, still, and just, I wasn't focused on anything. I was just like picking things up, putting them down, moving, normal moving stuff.
And no, it was only audible. It wasn't visual. Had no.
It was audible.
Okay.
It was totally audible. Casper. The song. And then I'm thinking, Casper, the friendly ghost.
Yeah, that's what came into my mind too.
Like
Yeah.
Casper, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, why am I thinking
Yeah.
about Casper the Friendly Ghost here? Like, now? So, finish up the moving and everything, and I had my son with me, and they let their dog out, and he kind of interacted with the dog, and he was just like in awe with this dog. And to watch that was just like, wow. You could see the lack of what was missing, that interaction of, because we have dogs, but they're not interactable. So
They're like possessed dogs. They're demon dogs.
yeah, they're just, they're dogs, but they're not like, you can't roll a ball to them, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just standing there watching that was just like, wow, and then on the drive home we had a conversation, and, I was like, you look so cool with that dog, He's like, yeah. He's like, it's a bigger dog, so it's a fun dog, And he's like, oh, I'd like to get a dog. I said, well, maybe over the summer we'll start looking for a dog, He's like, well, I'd like to have a puppy. I never had a puppy. So when we had a dog when he was younger, the dog was older. He never went through the puppyhood of having a dog, which is so important. That's the important part of it. So, I just had a nice general conversation on the way home, and then about 2 hours after I got home, I started texting him pictures of dogs. I'm like, what kind of dog would you want if if we were going to look for a dog? So this way I could start my intentions and put it out to the universe to see what's going to happen. You have to have that intention. You send out that thought, and that universe will respond. Usually it's like 90 days, but this was
90
like...
days.
Yeah.
What is that? 3
You know
months?
what? All right,
3
after
months,
this,
yeah.
we're going to talk about the whole. There's something that we're doing that is preventing.
Yeah, well, because
That forward
we
movement.
as humans put up blocks.
And
You
how
have to
do we
remove the
release the blocks?
It's because it's up here.
So when you want a dog is easy. Okay, I want a dog. A dog is a simple thing. It's not like
But it's anything, really.
winning the lotto or
Right.
buying a house or
Right.
something like that.
I don't
or
know. I think
finding
the
Prince Charming.
Yeah.
though, you know, because it's just how that day went, you know, just watching him, being in awe of him, feeling that lack of what he missed out on, you know, because after our dog died, they weren't allowed to have another dog. So it was just, you know, the whole thing, all those pieces were fitting together. So I didn't have any intentions on looking for dogs that night. I was tired. I was just wanting to lay back and watch some mindless TV. Something made me sit up and type in puppies for sale.
Yeah.
So I broadened my range, and I sent him the pictures of a boxer dog, a bull terrier, and a yellow lab, and that kind of sparked his interest. And he came out, and he's like, I think we'll go, you know, what about a lab? I think maybe we should go with a lab. So it's like, okay, so I'm typing, you know, lab puppies for sale, and I broadened the range from New York to Pennsylvania. Hit the first site up, and boom, this dog named Jasper.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's, I just got the chills.
know.
Yeah.
It's really, really profound. It really
like
is.
even when we were talking, because we did mention that we used to play with Ouija boards, and we didn't get into detail, but we would get messages that were close but not exact, and then somebody would say, "Wait, what? That's not Amy. It's Jamie."
Yeah.
Right? No.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes from above and everything, it doesn't have to be exact. It's not exact.
Right.
You know,
They're speaking a different language almost. It's a translation doesn't come across.
Well, there's got to be some type of barrier, too.
I had so many
Yeah.
profound things happen to me after, you know, my sister passed away, and I'd see hi everywhere, but it was backwards. So it was almost like she was writing from above. So I was seeing it mirror image. But I get it.
Yeah.
You know, like I understood the message that was coming across. There's just so many. I mean, there's the communication from each realm. It's there. A lot of people don't understand it. They don't want to believe it. They don't, you know, there's some people that fear it.
Yeah.
So, but this here was just like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost one and the same. Casper, Jasper.
Yeah.
How close,
Yeah.
right? So then I started looking at other dogs, and I just kept going back to Jasper. So I took the number, I called him the next day. He was still available. Made an appointment. We went to go and see him, and he came home with us that day.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was just like meant to be. His birthday, 222. Spiritual number.
Wow.
The one.
Yeah.
That's what 22 means.
Yeah.
222 means the one. So it's really cool how it does work and how everything is really connected and in sync. So, but yeah, it's laws of attraction, the intentions, putting it out there, the thought. Did it happen sooner than I thought? Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
We went from the, you know, somewhere in the summer to the end of the summer to...
Just the other day,
Yeah,
right?
and sometimes when you even say that, like, oh yeah, we'll look into it this summer. Summer comes, summer goes. It never really happens.
This manifested quick.
Yeah.
Really quick. And I really do believe in the manifestation process, and intentions has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, we need to work on this.
Yeah, so we're gonna like go backwards a little bit when we talk about. Okay, so there are some times when the universe actually totally fucks with you, and you put out something that you want, and you think you have it, and then boom, it totally blows up in your face.
Yes.
That is so right.
You have a very profound experience for opposite manifestation too.
Yeah, because there's a lesson in it.
Okay, all right.
There's a lesson
all right,
in that,
this is the
though.
silver lining of our black cloud life, right?
You have to find the good in it. You know, the universe wants what you want, wants you to have what you want, but you don't necessarily get it when you want it.
Okay. But do we always know what we want? Is that why we're not getting it?
Some people could be wishy-washy. You know, if you're like whatever, or in that in between thought, the universe is going to be like, well, which side of the teeter-totter are you on?
Right. I think
So
that
you
all the
have to
time.
be
I
direct.
teeter-totter
Yeah.
myself all the time. I
be
do.
direct.
And I feel like a lot of people, maybe they want what they think they should want, or what they feel other people want.
what
them.
are they?
Yes.
What you're supposed to
Absolutely.
have at a
Yeah.
certain
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, because at this point in my life, I should have A, B, and C, and I've only have A. So if I don't get B and C soon,
But I have to tell you, even with that thought, because I had that mind process too. You know, I'm however old, and I don't have this, or this yet. But then I think to myself, well, I have a very great job. You know, I have really close friends. Like, I have to think of the positive,
Right.
Absolutely.
and not think, well, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't have this.
But on another level, is it because society thinks we're supposed to live in that time frame?
it doesn't even have to be society. It can be more immediate, like a family member or a friend who constantly criticizes and makes you think, like, oh, you're not doing the right thing because you're living life, or you're not doing the right thing because you're staying home. I had a friend.
But you're living your life.
Right. Yeah. And like, oh, you need to go out and meet somebody. And I'm like, no, I don't need to meet anybody. Well, you're not going to meet anybody
I've heard that
from
a
your
lot of
living
times.
room. And
When
I'm like,
when are you gonna
so
start
now
dating?
I'm
When are you
out
gonna start
and,
putting yourself out there.
Right.
But you have to go at your pace, and whether you get to choose your rules.
So that might be where the wishy-washy comes
And
from.
that might
because
be-
what are
yeah,
the rules?
Because, well,
what are the rules?
Whatever rules you want to make them for you. You have to set your foundation and what your belief system of what is best for you. As for me and as for you, then you get the naysayers saying, well, I wouldn't do that. Oh my God, you're going to do that? And then they put the doubt in your mind.
And that's where the barrier comes up.
Wrong. And that's where you get the wishy-washy. That's when you have to say sometimes, fuck what people think. This is my life. This is my time that I have here to do what I want to do. Because everybody else is doing what they want to do, and they're not getting the naysaying, and they're just doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And we, the type of people that we are, we're like, okay, it's not acceptable, so I'm just not going to do it. Oh, people are going to talk about that, so I'm just not going to do that. Oh, it's not, what they want for me, so I shouldn't do that.
And I just want to put out there that we're not even talking about negative things. Like, all right, we could joke around about the drinking and the going out. We do that. I'm not saying that. But sometimes we can't even feel pride about something positive in our lives because it's taking away time from something that somebody else feels is more important.
Right.
Like,
that happens too.
Finding another outlet for creativity, or looking for a side hustle or additional income, and it's you can't do that because your responsibilities lie here. And no matter how old you are, I feel like there's people that can make you feel so young and inexperienced,
Right.
Like I think we, between the three of us, we have got a ton of experience in a lot of different levels, and there's times where I feel like I'm a child, honestly. People, criticizing, I have to almost, yes, mom.
I think that
not my mom, not my mom.
No, not your mom, but
Yeah.
in general,
Right, but these people are acting
right. But is it because they feel that they don't have the guts to be as free with them, and taking initiative to try something that, whether it works or whether it doesn't work?
But that's for us to learn and figure out.
Exactly. If it works, that's great.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, well, you tried it at least. There's some people that are afraid to do that.
And I can't tell you how many times I've failed at something. Failed.
But you really didn't fail because you tried
But do you
it.
know what I mean? I
Yeah.
did it, and it didn't turn out that way, and so you just turn the corner and go another direction.
Right, so-
there is nothing,
And you're going to keep trying different things, and you're going to find things that work for you. And it has to work for you. It doesn't have to work for A, B, C, or D. As long as it works for you, then it's the right thing for you.
or it might not be, but
But then there's
But it's
a
for
lesson.
us to figure out.
So
Yeah.
it's always the right thing.
Right.
Because if you
You're
get
right.
a lesson out of it, then there's no failure.
True. Okay, in the episode that was abducted by aliens, There's a lot of stuff that went on in there that I guess we'll just have to spread out amongst, these conversations that are coming. But one of the topics that we touched on was meeting people, or like we were just talking about like how people say you're not going to meet someone from your living room, or you have to put yourself out there.
I was just thinking about that. Oh my God! Because I sit on my couch and I'm like, God, I'm not going to meet anybody sitting on my couch. But then I'm like, I don't want to put myself out there.
But where are you putting yourself out there? We have a 50-year-old man trying to pick up Dina on Saturday night.
It's
crashed out of his face, shoving food down her throat, buying her beers.
It's so crazy out there. It's scary crazy.
And then do you get the people that say, well, have you tried online dating?
Oh, well, I haven't tried the online dating sites as the dating sites, but I was on a social site.
Meeting people.
Yeah, well, you meet friends.
Yes, a lot of people. Yeah, I think that a lot of people now, because that's a whole new way of communicating. Like you like the same stuff.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice if you can't get out of the house or off your couch, whatever. At least it keeps you in contact with people, and you feel safe behind your screen and this and that. And, I'm very underexposed for a lot of different things in general. So, but that was my safety net and everything. And I was meeting a lot of nice people, men and women. Mm-hmm. Women are a little crazy online.
They're a little crazy in real life.
Sometimes the women are a lot more free range than the men, I have to say.
Now, are these like people that you have known, or they're just
from across the country?
Okay.
Other countries across our country, and and it's nice, but you have to really set up boundaries at first, because it gets wild, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, it can get really crazy, and a lot of men out there think that it's this, let me sex online type thing.
Yeah.
And that just is like...
It really surprises me with that, how fast that culture came about. Right?
It really did.
Like now it's so common for guys to just reveal themselves.
You know what? I've had people send me dick pictures, and I'm like,
that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I've seen people face to face in public places that are taking out their phones and showing pics. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Why?
Listen,
what is that?
Don't send me a dick picture. If you're gonna ask me out on a date and you're gonna flop that sucker up on that table, who am I going with? I want to see your face, your smile, your eyes. Have a conversation with me. Don't just like, hey, baby. Like,
I don't get it. I don't either.
But it does happen, and.
But apparently there's girls who don't mind that, because if this is happening and continuously happening,
it took me a long time to get it.
Maybe that's a new form of affection that girls are accepting as a form of a good morning text. Let me send you this instead. And it's like, at least he's thinking about me, because girls are freaking idiots.
Yeah, but
and their standards are low a lot of times.
Like that is not really.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's like the morning heart on a page.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, girls are just like, I just want a good morning text and somebody to open the door for me. You know what I mean? But now, forget about they don't even need the good morning text anymore. They just need a text, and if that's the text that they're getting, then they're satisfied with it. And that's like really ruining it for people that have a little bit of higher standard.
Yeah. It really does. And, the whole thing is, it's once you set the boundaries, because I know, I made some really nice friends online across the country, and some of them would want to pursue and take it into a different direction, and it's like, no, I'm not about that. I'm not doing that here. No. And but then you get the stragglers that come along and have to fluff their feathers, and
like the white peacock. The white peacock
at the zoo.
I can't even get my words out again. That white peacock was doing that.
Ruffling his feathers.
What is that? Miley Cyrus
tail.
Twerking. Oh. Yes, they were twerking. The peacocks.
They twerk. Huh?
Yes, they did.
People do that online too.
Yeah.
Everybody's having pups now. We're turning into animals.
We are.
Yep.
We are isolated animals because we're just, sitting on our couches.
I don't know. I would
Not
prefer
learning.
just to have a normal amount of attention. Like, I'm not an attention seeker per se. Do I like attention? Yeah,
Everybody
a little bit,
does.
you know?
Sure, yeah.
But
It gets rid of that doubt of, like, where am I going with this? Or, are we on the same page? Just to get that reciprocal.
But then on the other side too, like I said, I made a lot of really nice friends, and I still consider them friends and everything. But then on the other hand of it, like, you have to build trust, and it's very hard to trust somebody through a screen, because most of the married people pretend that they're single. I was single, pretending I was in a relationship to keep all those crazy guys and people
At
away.
distance.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like you have to kind of learn and
do
think
that in
and
real
everything.
life too,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I go out.
I do it in real
Sorry,
life
I got a
all the
boyfriend.
time.
Sorry, no, can't. I'm in a relationship.
Because you
I'm
can't
involved
trust
with
people
somebody.
face to face. Forget about the
Yeah.
screen as a blocker.
Yeah,
You
well,
have
I
no
have-
idea what you're dealing with in
I
real
have gotten
life.
to that point where my trust level is like negative. Just negative. It's like people can say hello, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't
You don't
trust
really
you.
get
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, it's true though, and then, you put yourself out there online, and then you go out and you're like, I wonder if I spoke to any of these people.
Yeah.
Because there's such a wide range of
Yeah.
people.
And that's what we say all the time. We are, through this actually meeting people, and with this 6 degrees of separation. I mean, we're trying to stay local as possible, so it's hitting us like, oh, we actually know who's reaching out to us, or I know that person.
And you know what?
Yeah.
There's comfort in that, and then there's that behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they
Yeah.
thinking of us now?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't even know
But
it's
you know
us yet
what?
because we haven't met them
Yeah.
face to face.
But if
We're all talking
anything-
behind a screen.
This is real and raw, and it's life lessons here. You guys are talking about what really does happen out there. You're not covering up things with bandages and rose-colored glasses. This is true stories, and you can stretch it or you can condense it as much as you want, but when you start having a conversation with somebody and you become friends with them, and this happened to me, true story, online, and very nice, polite, and he was one of the very nice, polite people, and he had to have a serious talk with me, and he felt that he can confide in me, and he told me that he was dying.
And how long were you communicating with
Before he told you that.
A couple months.
Okay.
Okay,
So you built somewhat of a friendship.
Oh yeah, I was friends
yes.
with him,
Okay.
but we didn't really start talking, probably for about 6 months. But I knew him before that. Like,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know him in real life. I just knew him, he was on the site, and it would be short, hey, how are you, this and that, And then we would just talk about life stuff and this and that, and, he knew a little bit about my history of things that I have dealt with and this and that, and then he throws at me that he's dying.
Do you think that he kind of preyed on your vulnerability because you...
Absolutely now,
Shared?
absolutely now, yes, I do.
But at the time, you didn't.
At the time, no,
yeah.
I was like,
I mean,
I
because
was
who would?
empathetic, and oh my gosh, wow, that's shocking and everything. And our friendship was deepening, and I felt bad for him, and he said he didn't have any family, he didn't want to die alone. He wanted to do a few things before he died. He wanted to travel and go to Disney and do this and that, and he asked me if I would go along on his journey and be there for him when he died, because he did not have anybody. So, and this friend had conversations with my mom, my dad. Like, it was, my kids knew about him. So
Was this now strictly on the computer, or did this go over to like phone calls, text messages?
No, it started on the computer, then we were talking on the phone, this and that, getting through his bad days, and, he told me about his doctor's appointments, and, how he was feeling, and he had cancer, and it was just taking a toll on him, and he'd have good days, bad days.
And nobody
really bad
was with
days.
him ever. He was doing this all on his own.
He was doing it all on his own. All on his own. And, I was trying to, inside my head, say, all right, so far no red flags. This guy is really alone.
He's not like sending you nudes or
No, it wasn't.
asking
It was always,
you to like
it was,
hook up. Or,
no, it was all just on a very friendship. Just please be there. I'm alone. I'm afraid. I don't have long. We were talking July, so it was like 4 months that he had left.
Oh, wow.
So he had this to-do list that he wanted to get done. So I was like, all right, I'll be there for you. He asked me to marry him. He wanted to be married. I was like, I'm not I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't understand. I have a pension. You can have all my stuff and da-da-da-da. I have a lawyer. You can marry me on my deathbed so you don't have to deal with me anymore. And, he really...
sounds like he was
very sincere. Like he was really like,
yeah.
So it was like, oh wow, this is a lot of information and processing and this and that, So, and I was busy at the time, and I was getting over my stuff, and I was trying to rebuild and pick up myself up stuff, It's like, this guy can't die.
What did you do?
Yeah.
After talking to my parents and, my kids and everything, and I told them what was going on, I'm like...
And he was out of state, right?
Yeah,
This guy is out of
down
state.
in Florida.
Oh, okay.
He's down in Florida. So I was like, I gotta go. And I even talked to you, made arrangements and stuff, because I had a really busy life, but the fact of somebody dying alone, I lost people that had people around them.
Yes.
And I just could not let this person die alone. So, now he gave me, I've seen pictures of him. I knew what he looked like. He knew what I looked like. Mm-hmm. He gave me descriptions, and there was nothing sexual about this experience at all. It was just friend, dying, you can't be alone. It was so like cut and dry. He wanted to leave because he had this pension. He didn't want it to just go to the state. I want you to have it. You're such a kind person. You're so good to your family. You're there for everybody. Nobody's ever there for you. It's the least I could do. You're helping me. I'm helping you. So it was,
And this is from having months of conversations.
Yeah,
and
this wasn't just like, I know you for a week.
Yeah.
This is like, we were on the phone every day, and and still it was in that friend zone. I was like, I'm not getting attached. I'm not this and that, because I knew he was dying. So I was like,
right. What's the sense?
Like,
really,
it's just
you were giving him what he needed at that time,
right. So anyway, I got a ticket. I went down. He set up trips that he wanted to do, so I marked them on my calendar. This and that. The first thing that he wanted to do was just go to Disneyland and like.
See it.
Places down there,
Okay.
And he didn't want to go alone, so I was like, all right, packed my bags, got my ticket.
How long were you planning on going for?
It was just a couple of days.
Okay.
So, and even though I told my parents I'll keep in touch with you and this and that, they spoke to him on the phone. Everybody was on the same page. It was, I didn't feel a little anxious. I felt okay. I'm just,
Yeah.
So, I got down there, and when the plane landed, I'm walking, and there he was standing there. And the pictures I've seen, he looked just like the pictures.
So he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying about what he looked like and this and that. So I was like, okay, that's comforting. He had flowers for me. I was like, that's uncomfortable.
You did just travel 1,100 miles, left your family and your busy life. The least he could do was be standing there with flowers.
So, and here's the funny thing. Like, I went up, I greeted him. Just, hi, how are you? It's so nice to meet you in person. Wasn't this running down the airport thing, like...
Jump in the arms,
like you see shit on TV.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. I think that might have been a little disappointing for him, but...
he was expecting that, you think?
I think he was expecting that.
Really?
Now, he knows his true story. I only know what he was telling me, all these, so, my reaction to him was... I'm here. Let's go to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's check off those marks. For
Yeah.
you know, and I don't want to be cold-hearted. I want to be sympathetic, but I don't want to be enabling, and I don't want.
Right.
You have a million different emotions going through your mind at that time.
So you see him, he has 4 months to live. When you saw him, did you feel that he was telling, because you said he looked like the pictures, but did he look like a dying man?
And no, not having.
Did you
question? Stage 4? Yes, from the time I saw him, the question started in my head. I think that was what halted my initial response, because here he is supposed to have stage 4 lung cancer, and
going through chemo and things like that.
He was going back and forth to the doctors. He said he refused the chemo.
Okay.
All right, so he had a full head of hair. He was very robust, 40-inch neck. He was big guy. I've seen cancer patients, and they're not.
I don't think I've ever seen
so red flags started going up to match the red roses that he had. Yes, they were.
He was greeting you with love.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. And I was like, oh no. Stop right there.
You said flowers. You did not say red roses. That's a completely different thing.
Yeah, I got the thorns, boy, I'll tell you. So, but there's so many learning experiences in this whole experience. So, and if anything, it's to teach people, be careful who you talk online to. And, I was talking to a lot of other people besides that, and they would never, they had the fake profile picture.
Yeah.
The fake profile picture, and stuff like that. And, they would be like, oh, I love you, and you're my dream girl, and you're the love of my life, and
how do you know? Yeah, how do you know that?
Come on now. I think it takes some physical contact, some face-to-face time to know.
You can be attracted to somebody by looking, but
you can't be attracted to a fake profile picture, and then when they say, I'm gonna give you the world, I'm gonna give you the moon, give me a fucking real picture. That's all I want. I don't want the moon,
give me
I
real.
don't want the stars, I don't want the sun. I want a real picture.
Well, you know what?
I want
coincidentally,
real contact.
those things are unattainable. The moon, the stars, all those things are unattainable.
Absolutely.
So they're reaching and going after stuff, or claiming they can do things that can never happen.
Right.
So they're fake from the beginning, whether they have a real picture or not.
Absolutely. And these are all red flags, and women, girls, teenagers need to know this. They see this hot guy online, and they start talking and developing these feelings and this and that, and they're talking to somebody that's not even that person.
Yeah.
It could be an enemy. It could be an enemy, or there's a girlfriend
that I was dealing with at the time. It was the real person.
So he wasn't sick?
No. So he had issues. I'm not going to say he wasn't sick.
He didn't have cancer.
He did not have stage.
He wasn't dying in 4 months.
Cancer. No, he sent me a friend request 3 weeks ago. So
stop it.
Wait, how long ago was that?
Back in 2013, 14.
Yeah. 2004. So we're talking about 4 years ago.
He sent me a friend request.
How long did you stay down in Florida for then?
I was just down there for 4 days.
So you stayed the whole time?
Were you scared at all being down there now that you kind of realized that, Joe, I've been duped? This is not real.
No, I think he
Hold on. So you didn't have a car?
He had a car.
But you didn't have your own car, so you couldn't drive away?
No, we went from Tampa down to Orlando. And, you make nice talk and this
You
and that.
never felt like, oh my God, I get the hell out of this.
No, I had my phone. No.
Because, listen, I've never done any online situation. I've never met somebody in real life that I met primarily online. That's never happened. But I'm telling you right now, if it ever came to the point where I, decided I wanted to do that, I don't see that happening.
Very close in touch.
Somebody would be in the same room as me, and I'm talking about in my own town.
Yeah.
That took a lot of trust.
I mean, you got on a plane
that took a lot of
out
trust.
of my comfort zone. I'm telling you, I've never done anything like that.
Did you
before,
do all the things he wanted to do?
I kept very in contact with my family during that whole time. He got a little pissed off that I kept texting my sons and my parents, and I'm like, listen, if you're gonna kill me, they need to know where I am.
Yeah. What do you mean pissed off? What did he do?
It just very moody. I started seeing the true him come out as the trip was progressing, and it was a non-sex trip, so he was probably frustrated about that, but there was no way that was going to happen, you know. I went down there to fulfill his Disney. I'm not Disney.
Did you go? That's what I'm saying. Did you do all those things?
We were supposed to go to Disney, and he kept changing up his story. The first night when we got there, he was a big gambler, so he wanted to go and do his gambling. So basically, I sat on a bench by myself while he did his thing. I had a drink. That was it. Stayed on my phone, like do. You know,
like
God.
What am I doing?
Yeah,
right
like
now?
all right, whatever.
God.
You know, keep him over there though.
Did he drink or smoke or anything?
He was a big smoker.
So wait a second.
I know. You start putting the pieces together. Stage 4 lung cancer, and he was smoking like a pack. Like he was just smoking one after the other.
Did he? So he still hasn't
his whole
admitted.
thing was
He
like,
still has not admitted to
no.
not being sick. So here you are, face to face. He's claiming to have stage 4 lung cancer, yet smoking and drinking.
Yeah,
and
but he figured he was dying anyway, so he was.
he had
yes.
But then why go to the doctor?
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing too. You know, he said, and he even said while we were there, like while I was there, that I just got off the phone. The test results are bad. Then while we were there, like we never went to Disney. We did go to where's the place with the Legos and stuff? There's something Lego Island.
Oh no,
I don't know.
Disney Springs,
maybe something
restaurants
like that.
and stuff around.
And he was huffing, and now he's a big guy, and he's smoking, and he's like sweating profusely, and you know.
Oh my God.
And he's like gasping for air.
Oh my!
And he's like, I'm not gonna make Disney. You're gonna have to go without me. I'm like, I'm not going to Disney by myself.
What the heck?
So as we're driving though, like back and forth to whatever we were doing, you know, there was a little medical place there. And then one morning he woke up and he's like, take my car and just go back and get on a flight and go back home. He's like, I'm gonna die here. I'm dying. I know I'm dying. I'm like, well, if you're really that dying, why don't we get in your car and go down to a little medical place that's down the street, because you're not dying on my watch.
Yeah.
You're not dying while I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving you here, because they all know that I'm in here with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get arrested, you know. It's like, you need medical help? Let's go get medical help. And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, he refused to go to a doctor with me. So I'm like, why? You know, like, and then I questioned, because they're not going to find anything fucking wrong with you.
Right.
With smoking.
Right.
That's what they're going to tell you. So it was just like I started watching and his actions and listening to what he was saying. He said that he was on oxygen. He told me, like, even before I went down there, I'm on oxygen, I'm on this, I'm on that, this and that. So he had a kit with him. He brought it into, you know, the room and this and that. And it was and he, on his, you know, he brought it over his face.
Probably for like emphysema or something like that.
Or just, I mean, can you
sleep
go?
apnea.
Oh, so it's something totally different. Like he really thought this out and he played it out.
Yeah. Oh, he was good.
Oh my God. So, all right. So you're in this room. He's telling you to get on a plane and get home.
He's telling me now to leave.
And you said, no, I'm not.
I said, I'm not leaving. I can't leave you here like this.
Yeah.
If you're dying, you're not dying alone. You got me here. And now you're sending me away?
And when were you supposed to leave?
Like how? I was supposed to leave like...
I mean, like at this point where he's telling you to leave.
The next day.
Okay.
So I'd be going home a day early.
Okay.
But I was, no way I was taking his car. I was not, you know, now we're in Orlando. I'd have to go back to Tampa. I'm leaving him in that room. I was like, just let's go to the doctor.
Yeah.
It's right down the street.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, no, it was, and he was laying down and he was like moaning and this and that. And
Oh my God.
he was really playing it up. And he was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, you have to do something. I'm like, get up.
So what were you doing?
I was in a little state of panic there because I didn't know exactly what was happening here. Like, and I'm trying to really pre-calculate everything that he said in the past, everything that he's said on the trip, and the fact that here now he needs medical attention and he won't go down the street and get it. So that's when I really knew, like, there's something wrong, you know. So, and then his whole attitude changed. Like, he became angry at me. And maybe because I wasn't falling into his trap, maybe because I called him out on his bullshit, I'm like, you're not even dying. He had said something during that trip. Would it be funny if my cancer,
yeah, what is that called?
Like remission?
Remission,
yeah.
yes, when it's
if I went
remission.
into remission and, you know, I was like, really? It's like, it must have, because he's still alive today.
But no, what do you mean it must have? There was no such thing as cancer. Think about his karmic path.
So even after you left, there was still no conversation like,
I lied.
I don't know.
He never came.
Well, no, because now you have to keep in mind he has no family. He's old.
But is that true too?
No, because I'll tell you, you give somebody long enough to talk, and they will
tell you everything.
It comes out.
Or because they would just trip over the lies that they're telling.
He was in a conversation, and let me go back to when we were at the airport.
To go home?
It was like doom and gloom.
To go home, or when you got there?
I was leaving.
Okay,
He was fine. He went out that day. He got air. He got his life back. So he didn't die that day. And then he was fine. We wound up going out for a bite to eat and this and that. And he was like, whoa, all better. So then we head back to Tampa or this and that. Oh, we went to see that dolphin without a tail. You know, we did some excursions and this and that. You know, try to make the best of a really crazy time.
Yeah.
So, but when we were driving, he said something about his cousin. Now, he's from Massachusetts, and his cousin called him the other day, and they were having this conversation, and there was a cousin that back in the day, they had a big bar brawl, and the cousin went into the ladies' room to use a bathroom because somebody was in the men's room. It was like such a messed up story that you couldn't even wrap your mind around, and I didn't even care what he said after my cousin.
Right.
Because I'm like, your cousin?
Because if you have a cousin, you have an aunt.
You have family.
You have
Yeah.
an uncle.
You have family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But even if you don't have an aunt and uncle, the cousin could be coming down to Florida.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Doom and gloom in part of his story. Before I even went down there, I'm backtracking because it's all coming back. He had a brother in California that was married, and they have 2 or 3 kids. Okay, so now I was like, all right, you have a brother. We're not talking. I was like, all right, so you have a brother and you're not talking. That's still family.
Yes.
He's got 3 kids, 2 kids, and a dog and a wife. That's still family.
Yeah.
No, but we're not talking. So anyway, now and it was just like boom, 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 boom of bad news. It's like he called me up and he sounded like he was crying and everything. He's like, my brother passed away.
This was before you went down there?
I went down there. So I guess he had to eliminate the brother because now the brother passed away.
My freaking God.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I'm so sad.
I wonder if he was like married. I wouldn't put it past him to be married.
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I feel like he's a sociopath.
Well, let me tell you something. He told me that he worked in a facility for people with brain injuries, and I'm thinking that he might have been a patient.
He is.
Yeah.
He's an escapee from the brain injury place.
He sent me something with a package and a return address, and of course I get online.
Yeah, Google. Yeah, of course. As soon as you find out a name now,
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, I did. I did like background checks and stuff like that, and he seemed to be legit. I matched his name with stories that he did say. So there was a lot of things that were truthful.
But what was the address located to? Like
in a neighborhood, and I questioned him out on that because when he was doing something, his wallet came out and his license was there, and it was a different address on the license,
than it
on the
was on
receipt, and then with the package. So I'm like, where the fuck do you live? There's 3 different addresses under your name. Like, who are you?
Oh my God.
Like, really?
wow.
And you have to wonder, what is his intention with people in general?
Yeah.
What was he really looking for? I don't even know if he's had 3 addresses and all of these stories and fake family.
At that point,
what did he really want to do with you? You're so lucky you came home in one piece.
Yeah, I felt like that after I got
On the
back
plane.
from the trip. Like,
On the
right.
plane.
I
Like,
really
if you
did.
think about it,
And then you start
he could
watching
have
all these
separated you
shows.
into 3 different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Now, when you were with him, was he on his phone at all? Did he have a phone at all? Like,
He had a phone. He really wasn't on it too much. The only time I was on the phone was to,
Get away from him?
Well, not
Because I would be
yeah.
911 operator.
I think I might be kidnapped.
I got to turn my location on just in case anything happens, right? I would
yeah.
swallow the phone at
I
that
was in-
point.
I was
That
in-
phone would be going in places.
Yeah.
Just in
I was in
case.
complete contact with
Find my
kids
iPhone.
and my parents and everything, so they pretty much knew, where I was, and I called
Pretty
them.
much new.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was scary,
People do
and I don't
disappear
recommend
from their
anybody
own- yeah.
like for women out there and teenagers and everything.
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, I got lucky. And but this shit is real, and it
Yeah.
happens, and you got to really be careful.
Yeah, I know.
Don't
And
meet
I mean, like,
anybody
in all seriousness,
that,
right?
In a private location,
Yeah.
before you meet them. So I had a better time talking to the dude on the plane than I did when I was on that trip.
Oh.
In 2 hours, I felt,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. It just when I got back, when we were sitting at the airport and everything, more doom and gloom. I was sitting there waiting for my flight.
Doom and gloom.
How much more could one person handle?
And he gets a text message, and his hands go into his head. He had a dog that was older, and he had somebody dog watching the dog. And so now he's got his hands in his head. He goes, "Oh, Dee, it's bad news." I'm like, "Well, what else would it be with you?"
Yeah.
It's all bad news with you. I'm sorry, I can't make this up. It's just like, what happened now? My dog died.
Oh my.
This is. I'm not making this up. The pet sitter just texted me that there is no hope. He just died. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, he was really preying on that. Like, oh my God, you poor baby.
No, this is like a mentally unstable person.
Definitely like psychopath.
Yeah.
See the strong woman try to knock her down. It was definitely a Lifetime movie situation.
Now, were you in contact with him after you got home?
I pretty much did we're done.
Yeah.
As I was walking to down the mat to the airplane and everything, he called my name and he did the "I heart you," and I'm like,
Oh my.
I would have looked the other way to make it seem like who's that guy talking to?
Oh my God.
just get me to the plane. Yeah, it was a little, and we had conversations.
Man, I'm picturing soundtrack right now.
Yeah.
Some music playing in my head. Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's more like the getting out of here as I'm walking out to the plane.
When I did get home, we had some phone conversation. Totally turned to a different tone. Mm-hmm. I called him out on his shit. He told me that I'm a bitch. I cheat. I'm like, I cheat? How do I cheat? I'm single. How am I a cheater?
Yeah.
He goes, you owe me money for the trip?
What?
I'm like, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything. He brought up his cousin again. I'm like, listen, you have family. You don't need me to get you to the end of your days. I don't even think you have to the end of your days. Like you said.
Yeah.
It just...
Well, thank God he didn't bring you to the end of your days.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
We're laughing, but this is
but this is true story. And if it does, get out there, just as a caution for people, be careful. Be careful because it does happen. And for me, I'm naive and this and that, and I was doing it under my right intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want this man to die alone. it just didn't. And, you know, he took it to a whole nother level. And it was just like, you know what? And going back, I had a guardian angel watching me over that whole trip. Because I did.
Yeah, you did my home. You're
My
right.
intentions were set to do good for another human being.
Mm-hmm.
My karma is clean. You know, his karma, not really sure. And I don't even care at this point anymore. You know, he taught me a lot of lessons. Yeah, I don't trust anybody anymore. Like I said, he could say hello to me and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I'm going to say bye-bye, Bumble.
And I am currently deleting Tinder off my
You
phone.
don't have Tinder on your phone.
I know I don't, but if I did, it'd be deleted.
Well, no more Match.
Yeah, no. eHarmony.
eHarmony can go, you know what.
Yeah, I'm on sites. I'm lucky I'm still on Facebook, and that might be getting the ads pretty soon.
I guess, I mean, like if we, like we were saying earlier, we have trouble trusting people that we see face to face.
Right.
I mean, let's figure out a way to, you know, network in real life before. There has to be a way.
Well, the whole and it comes down to trust. And I trusted this person. There's people that I know for a long time that I trusted, and they, you know.
Well, you could be with. I mean, relationships end because of stuff like that.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
trust is something that you have to take like with a grain of
And
salt.
like I said to my mom during this whole process, like I was with somebody for so long and I didn't know him. So what's the difference if I go with a stranger?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like is there really a difference at this point?
Yeah.
You know,
Right. You could be with a stranger.
you could be with somebody that's a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like the intentions that I had were good and they were pure, and you know, I hope he is well. And
Well,
hanging out with
apparently
his
he's
cousin.
able to send friend requests on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
I was a little
something.
shocked about that.
He's something.
My mind is like blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks
Yes.
for having me.
Yeah, we had a good time
Yeah.
tonight.
You will be back.
Yeah, you will. And next time, we'll bring the wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, we're being sober sisters.
So this was
today.
episode what? 5?
Episode 5. We're only asking for 5 more.
I'm alive.
Yes.
There we go. You have the right one. I need that.
Yeah. All right, so don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That's where we have most of our stuff, but we're also on
Facebook,
Twitter,
YouTube.
SoundCloud.
Tinder?
No.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.